Away we go. Bonus, 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 bonus drive. Hey everybody, it's Friday morning, and I've got a stupid doctor's appointment. We'll see if anybody shows up for this one. We're driving through the outskirts of Enumclaw. For those that remember the famous horse story from Enumclaw, Washington, this is where it took place. If you haven't heard about it, look it up. And I'm sorry, and you're welcome. It's a bizarre story of a Boeing engineer. Hey, Des, good morning. I guess it's good afternoon where you are by 5 minutes. Anyway, this is going to be a different drive. Um, we're going a different direction, so we're going to be on country roads the whole way. Hey, Richard, mint chocolate chip balls. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Um, we are in the outskirts of Enumclaw, Washington. Excuse me. Um, and we're taking back roads all the way up. Unfortunately, the bridge across the Green River is having troubles again. Probably 10 years ago, it was closed for 2 years while they rebuilt it. And I scheduled this appointment weeks ago, and 2 days ago, they closed the bridge again. Cindy was doing okay when she left. She left a little bit ahead of me. Normally on Tuesdays, I leave before she does. So she was off to work and in a good mood. Anyway, this bridge is originally they said it was going to be closed. Now they made a stoplight running traffic across it. So we'll see how it goes going that way. It's 9 a.m. here. I've got a 2:15 appointment. Says I should be there by about 9:45 or 9:50. So we've got a little bit of time to play with. Wow, that actually says I've got 33 people in here. Where'd they all come from? Anyway, so we're going to come up to the stoplight, turn left, and then we got about a mile and a half or 2 miles, and we'll be at that bridge, and we'll see what's going on. Hopefully it's not just closed, because then I've got to backtrack all the way back to here and go the other way. But right here on the corner on the left is the famous Crane Corner restaurant, which is pretty famous for this area. Great place to get breakfast on a Saturday or Sunday morning. Yeah, 10 makes more sense, but I still don't see them. Anyway, I'm going to try and go out through Black Diamond and up into Ravensdale. I don't know if I will lose phone signal. It could happen. If I do, we'll come back a different way when we come back south from the doctor's appointment, where I know we'll have phone signal. It's just not as pretty a drive. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's go see what's going on with the bridge. This time of day, there shouldn't be a lot of traffic. The last time they had this shut down to a stoplight. Hey Todd, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Last time they had this bridge set up this way, when I was working out in this area frequently, you could have a 20-minute wait to get across this bridge with the stupid stoplight. But we'll see how it goes. Should be a very pretty drive if all goes well. But like I said, it could be phone signal out through Ravensdale. If we do, if I can restart it, I will. But we'll see what happens. I did find a thanks to Mary's gig. Uh, she posted a short. I actually it's from Mary's gigs, but I found it from Daisy May. How to restart your live when it crashes. So if it does crash, I should be able to bring it back pretty easily. Yep, there's the first. Okay, at least it's not completely closed. That's good news. People float the Green River all the time, and we probably lose 2 or 3 people a year out here. And uh, the bridge was built in like 1923 across this gorge, and basically the more traffic that's on it, the more the buttresses at each end crumble and get worse. So yeah, am I back? Did I come back, guys? Sorry, when I was down at the bottom of the bridge, I was in a pit, didn't have signal. Hey, Sheriff, I don't know how bad that going. Uh, I got right up here. The original mining town out here, the Black Diamond Mining Company, and they were actually part of the mining town that I live in, which was Wilkeson. Yeah, I'm afraid it's gonna be kind of messy. I probably shouldn't go out through Ravensdale. I should probably stay on the main road. Hi, Vern. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. Yeah, I'm nervous about going out to Ravensdale now. Um, but I'm gonna make the turn and try. If it dies this time, I don't know that I'll be able to. Well, at one point I'll be able to come back, but it could be 10 minutes. Um, but we'll try it because it's going to be beautiful if we can pull it off. Anyway, this is Black Diamond, little tiny town. Population's about 1,800, something like that. Not as small as my town. We're only 453, but and we're coming around. Actually, now that I think about it, they just added a 10,000 home uh, development out to the left a couple of miles, and I don't know if that is inside or outside the Black Diamond city limits. Oh, nice! They put a roundabout in here. How nice! All right, keep your cross ready to go. Get the breath here. We can pull this off. If you lose me, say something, and I'll try and restart it. Anyway, we're headed towards Ravensdale, um, which has one mini market. and they have an activity center, and that's about it. A couple of small companies. Hey, Tom. Yeah, I'm afraid we're going to lose it. But we'll see how it goes. As we're climbing in elevation, it could get a little better. We're kind of driving through a little gully there. Oh, great. One lane road ahead. So we could actually get to sit and, oh, cool. It's just a guy mowing. All right. Yeah, this is just a beautiful little windy road with beautiful scenery on both sides. I actually saw a bear up in here. Maybe 2 years ago, I was going up to Issaquah for a doctor's appointment. Came around the corner and had a black bear standing in the middle of the road. Well, now we're coming down the backside of this little hill and coming into Ravensdale, and this could be where we could run into trouble with the signal. But we'll see if we keep it. Hopefully we will. Hey, Darren, thanks for stopping in. We're uh, we're iffy on signal, buddy, so it could drop out. I'll try and bring it back, but if it drops out, we could be stuck for a few minutes. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Darren is Ring Disturber. Richard is Mint Chocolate Chip Balls. Of course, Des is Des. All right. Yeah, now we're coming into Ravensdale. You're going to see something kind of funny here in a minute. It's going to look like there's a construction worker sitting on top of a shed off to the left with a sign that says slow or stop, something like that. It says stop today. If you get a chance to see him, there's bushes in the way. There he is. They put that up there years ago to make people slow down as they came through here, and it's been up there ever since. Hey, Lee, thanks for coming in, buddy. Lee with Enfield Road Layout and Law. All right, this is right here on the left is the activity center for Ravensdale. They have a gym that has a basketball court in it, and then a couple of baseball diamonds. We're going to come a little further, and you'll see the mini market, which I guess would be what's considered downtown Ravensdale. which is right there on the corner. Ravensdale Market. This used to only be a two-way stop, and they had many accidents, so they finally, after all the time, put a four-way stop in there. Cool. I'm looking forward to it, Lee. 6 weeks old. Wow. All right. There's a little stretch of this. I'm surprised we made it to Ravensdale, but um, there is a little stretch that's coming up that we could have some rough signal too. And then we will, once we get to Hobart, which is our next little town coming up, we should be pretty good in from there, I think. But we'll see. Just all farm country out here. It's beautiful. We're also coming across a little section of the river up here where they actually have a kayaking course, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it. But they've got lines going across the river, and they hang down posts. They're elevated posts above the river, and the idea is you go upriver or downriver and work your kayak in between the posts. Yeah, the trees are all that growth of deciduous trees right there blocks it in the winter time or in the summertime. Okay, back up the hill. And back up the speed. Looks like they're putting in a new housing development over there. Are you guys still with me? Or did I lose you again? Ah, okay, cool. Well, that probably would have been the last area I think we had trouble. Hi, Mona. We're going to come up over a couple of little hoopty doops bumps, and then we'll come into Hobart, which is another small town designated by a mini market. Only this one has a post office in it too. Oh, you're also going to see in just a minute here. You're going to see a yellow submarine on the left side of the road, or it should be the left side of the road. Maybe it's backwards from here, but here it comes right there. Kind of covered in green moss now, but it was right there. Yeah, like the Beatles song. There are people that do a lot of silly things with propane tanks. Down by Olympia, somebody took a vertical, uh, maybe a 500-gallon propane tank, set it up vertical, and it looks like a minion standing out in the middle of his cattle field. Hey, Mac, thanks for dropping by, buddy. Laying down the bars. Thanks, dude. I appreciate you. I really do. Man, you always come in with it. Okay, down another hill and up another hill, and then we'll slowly roll into Hobart. Also designated by a baseball field. Whoops, I'm going too fast. Those speed lights flashing at me. I wasn't going that much too fast. Off in the distance, you can see where they logged off the top of the hill. Those patches always hurt my heart, but they always replant, and in about 15 years, that'll all be trees again. There's the Hobart Baseball Diamond on the right, and the Hobart Fire Station on the right. And up in the distance, you can see the giant 76 ball for the gas station and mini market, which doesn't spin anymore, but it's still up there. Um, it's actually, that would be Tiger Mountain. It's not really a range, just kind of hills. We're in between the ranges. Cascades are behind us, and Olympics are way out in front of us, but you can't really see them from here. Um, yeah, we have mountains out here. From about Colorado this way, we have mountains. What you guys call mountains on the East Coast are hills. I hate to burst your bubble, but um, there's a clump of three hills right here: Tiger Mountain, Cougar Mountain, and Swamp Mountain. And elevation on those is about 2,500 to 3,000 feet, something like that. Um, give or take. Yeah, I used to work on a lot of those cell towers. They've got little tiny air conditioners to keep all the equipment cold, and some of them are hard to get to. They don't give you an address, but the address doesn't make any sense, and it's all dirt roads. So you go by the directions, and it's like take the third left dirt road, and then follow that until you come to the where the dirt road splits in five directions. And if you count them from the left, take the second one. If you count them from the right, take the fourth one. Directions. And you end up going 20 miles up into the hills to find them. And we just crossed under Highway 18, which would connect us back over to Highway 167, which is the trip I usually take on Tuesdays going up to Seattle. The road we're on is called the Issaquah Hobart Road, obviously because it goes from Hobart to Issaquah, which is where we're going. Issaquah is actually a cute little town. We're going to come in from the south side of it, and so we'll get to go through the old time area of Issaquah, uh, what would be considered downtown. Um, and first weekend of October every year, Issaquah has a Salmon Days Festival. Salmon come up from the ocean, up through the Sammamish Slough into Lake Sammamish, and then come up the Issaquah Creek, and most of them get trapped at the salmon hatchery right there in Issaquah, which of course in fourth grade is a common field trip to go see the salmon hatchery and learn how salmon are made. One of the silly things I remember like it was yesterday. Yes, Richard, you were on the last drive to Seattle. Maybe the last two even. Well, the Tuesday appointments are all for my foot. This is just a yearly checkup with my heart doc. I don't have any major heart trouble, uh, but once a year I got to go get a echo echocardiogram done, and then I got to go see the heart doc, and she can tell me what I'm doing stupid. Yeah, it should be everything should be fine. It's just a yearly thing. When you get to my age, I'll be 67 in December. Uh, Everybody wants you to go get checkups on everything, and unfortunately, the best docs I have found are not anywhere near where I live. So I put up with commute. 41 in January. Wow, I wish I was still 41. I was in good shape back then. Although this trade has been very hard on my body. I've broken more things and torn more things. Yeah, 21. If I knew now what I knew then, yeah. Or if I knew then what I know now, I'd go back to 21. We were all pretty dumb at 21, though. At least most of us were. We are coming up on, it's called the Tiger Mountain Country Store, which is another little mini market. It's just on the road. Uh, Obviously named for Tiger Mountain. The one in the hill in front, directly in front of us now, is Squawk Mountain. Um, I don't think we're going to see anybody in the air today, but there's the technical name is Parapont, but the guys that basically hang glide off the top of the mountain. Uh, I don't. We'll see if we can see it on the way back, the launch zone. But we'll see. I'll show you where the landing zone is. And then Seattle Parasail School is right there at the landing zone, and they actually have a shuttle bus that will drive you up to the launch site. Or those that are really fit and in shape, uh, wow, I've never seen that building before. I haven't been out here in a while. I don't know if that's commercial or a house. As huge as it's a house. Anyway, that could be condos or something. Anyway, there's the Tiger Mountain Country Store. I used to live right out here. This is beautiful downtown, kind of not downtown, but Maple Valley. Do you actually have? I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Brittle bone disease. Yeah, I couldn't. If I actually had to sit down and list everything I've busted up over the years, um, I've had all kinds of weird things happen. I was on my knees cutting a piece of sheet metal one day on a commercial job, and it it's called an air handler, but it's basically a furnace, and it was being hung above where I was working. It was actually already hung up there on two pieces of what's called unistrut, which is a structural piece of steel. And I had an apprentice working off the end of it, and he bumped it just right, and that furnace flipped around and dropped across my shoulder about 8 feet in the air. Self-inflicted, yeah. I've had my share of those too. Um, Now, up to the right is the backside of Tiger Mountain, and that the launch zone is up on the top of that. And as we come around the corner, you should be able to see the windsock of the open field where the landing zone is. And nobody will, well, when I finish that story, those who are very much in shape can actually, there's a trail that goes up to the launch zone. And there will be a whole bunch of cars parked in this parking lot. And those people are all hiking up that trail just to hike up the trail. And nobody's usually flying this time of day, but they could be on the way back. Yeah, the windsock isn't even moving, but it's right there. Yeah, these people just park anywhere. Now people are selling out their yards to park in, which makes sense. Because on the weekend, there's hundreds of people that hike that trail. Jesus, I had a broken rib that punctured a lung, but Jesus, for your lung, that's not fun. Yeah, God, I can imagine. I can't fathom that, but I can imagine it from what I went through. Big sailboat, a sail-in, as it were. I've heard it called that here in Seattle. Lots of them that are out on the coast will sail into the local waterway, which is called the Puget Sound, and they all meet up out on Pier 71. That sounds cool, though, Bert. In the back of my head for years, I've had this dream to sell the house, buy a catamaran, and sail around the world. Not necessarily all the way around, but just sail off into the sunset. All right, now we are actually coming into Issaquah city limits. They have their own little local reader board. Apparently, there's a DUI emphasis patrols going now. Well, come on, if you're gonna, there was room for you to do that. Off to the right is the main grade school, junior high, and high school up that road, as well as the bus depot. They keep them all right there together. Um, and this is to the left is Cougar Mountain, to the right is Tiger Mountain. And the road needs paving. How about that? We had a little area where we actually lost the signal and had to restart for a second, but other than that, we held the signal all the way in. So we'll go back the same way, and we'll be on the high side of the bridge when we have to stop. So we should be able to hold signal going down into the gorge going back, or if not, it'll just be a short few minutes. We got a stoplight coming up, and then we'll pull into downtown Issaquah. Up to the right is the community pool. My kids used to swim there all the time. I guess I did too, actually, but it was while the kids were born, while they were little. My kids are now 36 and 34. Here's downtown Issaquah. On the left far corner is the town library. Um, Before my mom passed, they were taking donations to build that library, and she made a donation, and so there's a tile inside on the entryway wall that has her name on it, which is kind of cool. Um, Junior theater, Hunt Family Theater is what it's called now. That's where the kids learn to act. And then as we get down here on the left side, they're doing Brigadoon, September 16th to the 19th. And that's our off Broadway theater. And they put on some really good plays. I saw Cats there. I saw Fiddler on the Roof there. I've seen many plays there. And they really do a heck of a job. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, she passed long ago, Richard. 96, actually December 7th, 1996. We've always joked it was the day that will live in infamy. Um, and she was a good woman. She my dad passed away when I was 12, uh, and then about the time I was 18, uh, I found out he was my dad, not my father. So mom wasn't as good as we all thought she was. Um, and here's the clinic. However, we're early, so I can. There's no handicap spots there. What about over here? Yep, there's one. I'm still on my knee scooter, so I'm taking advantage of handicap spot. Since I have the sticker, I'm allowed to. And I'm going to back it in so the sun's going the other direction. Whoops. There we go. That way I can get my knee scooter out. All right. Actually, when did you guys see that pole? When I came back or while I was gone? I don't know how I could set it up so that I could talk and chat while I'm live. When I was gone, you did see it, so that it worked. It did what I wanted it to do. Um, I don't know. It may have just been as I came around the corner. Uh, but if I'm back now, I must be sitting in the right spot. Um, I'm going to. I'm going to sit here and drink my soda pop for a minute. We'll chat. I'll have one more smoke, and then we'll. I'll go shut this off and go deal with the doc, and then probably 45 minutes or so. I'm sucking on a Coke. I have the McDonald's app, and there's a McDonald's. Usually, if I'm going to Seattle, I hit the one in Bonnie Lake. Coming this way, they just put a brand new McDonald's. That's what's irritating. Yeah, it's a Coke here. It's Coke is what I'm drinking, um, but they just put a brand new McDonald's in Buckley so that I could hit that one on the way out. And what bores me is I get one sausage muffin, no egg, and large Coke. That cost in Bonnie Lake. That cost me $4.19. I just did the same order, same thing I always order: a Coke and a sausage muffin, no egg, and it cost me $5.36 in Buckley. It's like screw you, dude. So we only go to that McDonald's when we have to. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that sounds like this kind of stuff that they did here, but 30 years ago. 7-Elevens in Washington, while majority of Washington used to do that with Slurpees for kids. Was $15 a month. Your parents paid $15 a month, and you got two or three free Slurpees a day, the small ones. Um, but back in the day, we were feral. You know, parents kicked us out the door when after breakfast, and we didn't come home until the streetlights came on. So if we wanted to go up to 7-Eleven, and in my neighborhood, the nearest 7-Eleven was 4 miles away. We just jump on our bikes and ride up there and get a Slurpee and then come back. Yeah, Burn, you've got to post that. That's going to be so cool. I was hoping I could get out and get some footage during Seafair, you guys, but with my foot as messed up as it is, it just, I, I mean, knee scootering works, but it's very slow and not terrain friendly. Yeah, it just shocks me that there's that big a price jump from one McDonald's to the other that close together. It surprised me. I mean, the only reason people are using that McDonald's is because of its convenient location. I mean, the competition in Buckley is Wally's, and although Wally's puts out much better food, uh, it's it's on the expensive side. But that was the only drive-in in Buckley for 50 years, probably more. I think Wally's has been there since the '60s. Wow. Yeah. Um, and the Blue Angels aren't flying down by our house anymore. For those that don't know, the Blue Angels is well, it's kind of a collaboration, really. The Marines take care of the planes, and they fly Fat Albert, which is a support plane for the Blue Angels. The Blue Angels is a group of F-16 or F-14 fighter jets that do aerobatic displays in the states and around a few close by other countries, um, but they come into town and do an aerobatic display for Seattle's big summer festival, which is called Seafair. And it used to be that the solo jets, uh, while there are 7 jets that fly in the show, and 2 of them are solos, and the other 5 fly together. And the 2 solo guys would go way out from the show stage, basically, and pick marker points so that they could find them during the show. So they go out Friday and practice and pick their marking points. And they used to use marking points on the south end down by my house. And so we'd always get a flyby. And then again on Saturday and Sunday when they were doing the shows. And I don't know what changed, but they don't do it anymore. Yeah. Um, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. Shortly after Boeing put out the 747, a test pilot barrel rolled one over the top of Lake Washington for Seafair. And I know that there was television footage of it. I'll have to look it up and see if I can find the footage of it. Yeah, 747 test pilot barrel rolled a 747. I didn't get to see that, but at least not live. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to think of that. I mean, that's a huge plane. But back in the day, those test pilots got away with all kinds of crap. Nowadays his license would have been jerked. I had my pilot's license. I had to give it up for medical reasons. Um, Back in the early '90s, I was going to trade careers and switch into flying planes. Uh, that's one thing I've got to say. The rest of the world has leaps and bounds over the United States. If somebody wants to become a pilot, go out of the country. If you want to fly commercial airliners, go out of the country. Um, in the United States, you have to have 1,500 hours of flight time in order to train uh, and qualify to fly commercial multi jet passenger planes. Um, in the rest of the world, it's 250 hours, and most of the rest of the world, a stealth bomber. Wow. Um, yeah, 250 hours. If I'd gone to London or Paris, if I'd gone anywhere else, I'd have had it before I had to give up my license. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was. Yes, he was a Boeing test pilot, and he barrel rolled a 747. It was crazy. All right, guys, I got to go in and get clocked in for this, and I will be back in probably 45 minutes or an hour, and we'll do it all again going south. So thank you all for being here, and hopefully I'll see some of you in a bit. Love y'all.